Idaho Matters is one way to learn about the people, the places, and the things that make Idaho unique. From the geography, the flora and the fauna, to the culture and arts of this place that we call home. Subscribe and listen to Idaho Matters today at boisestatepublicradio.org/podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts.
From Boise State Public Radio, this is The Connector. It's Idaho's Daily News. Good morning. I'm George Prentice. For this holiday edition of The Connector, we are going to invite, one of our favorite people, Chef Joyce Doughty, chef extraordinaire, and she is going to share with us some of her favorite side dishes.
Good morning.
What strikes me about some of the suggestions for your sides are the color, right?
Yes.
I see so much color. You've painted the word picture for me on that table, and so many of these sides have such vibrant colors.
That's right. You want your plate to be beautiful. And so I always think, we need something red on the plate, right?
So let's go there.
And for Thanksgiving, that's easy. That's cranberry.
How do you do cranberries?
It's so I look at the package. There's a recipe on the package. You can't go wrong. Affordable. And it's something you can make ahead.
Yep.
I'm all about making ahead. Everything we're going to talk about is do ahead. Mm-hmm. So the cranberries, for that recipe, you can, instead of water, you could use orange juice.
Yep.
Or you can use port if you want a real festive thing. Citrus rinds.
My mom would always put rinds in our cranberries, and I love
so many variations.
Yeah.
So
let's continue color. Let's talk green.
Green. Okay. This is the one day of the year that I can forget about a tossed green salad.
Okay.
Because it takes too much room on the plate, right? There are other things you want to put on your plate, not lettuce.
Okay.
So this year I'm going to make a coleslaw. I do like something cold.
I love coleslaw.
So I'm going to make a nice coleslaw, maybe with cranberries and almonds.
Oh, wow.
And it holds, it doesn't wilt. So we're going to do that, and that's going to be our color. But green beans, I have to say,
what do you do with your green beans?
I just get my largest saute pan and trim the beans,
right.
Put them in there with some butter and a little water, and I just kind of simmer them, cook them in the pan with a lid on them till the liquid's all reduced. Salt and pepper, and then to the table.
I cannot pass a plate of green beans. I adore green beans.
Aren't they? Yes.
Wow.
I don't think I've met anyone that doesn't care for green beans.
Okay. Let's talk starches, right? Either potatoes or sweet potatoes, or what do you like?
Hey, a couple of years ago, my daughter-in-law, Wendy, brought a side dish to Thanksgiving dinner, and it was sweet potatoes sliced very thinly, shingled, and over it she had put a mixture of Parmesan cheese, what else? Garlic. She had drizzled maple syrup, brown sugar, and some bacon bits. And it was delicious. I brought some for you to sample, George.
Okay.
If you want it.
Yes.
What's nice about this is it reheats beautifully. I'm just going to show you this.
Here.
It's so pretty. This was made 5 days ago. Doesn't that look great?
It looks great. I'm just
going
to
to
take a little piece here. Great.
But if you can reheat it in the oven or an air fryer.
Oh, these are gorgeous.
They're beautiful, aren't they? My husband, who does not like sweet potatoes, loves that dish. So I'm just a big fan of that.
Okay. And you were kind enough to share with us some recipes that we're going to put online. Sweet and moist cornbread.
This is an awesome recipe.
Okay.
And for me, Thanksgiving, it's all about that indigenous meal and corn. Yeah. So I think there's a place for cornbread.
And I love, you've got cream cheese biscuits.
And I brought samples of that.
Tell me about what these are.
Well, they're just a simple recipe, but they have cream cheese in them. And so they're very stable. They're very stable. You can make them days ahead. You can leave it out at room temperature.
Yeah.
For that time, you can freeze them and pull them out, warm them ever so slightly in the microwave. And I just love, online, I actually have some variations of that. Okay. But I like herbs because then you can put your cranberries on it and eat it like jam. They are delicious.
Can we talk about pie for a second, and pecan pie in particular?
I discovered something
Okay.
a few months ago. I was making a pecan pie, and I always go to online to just see if there's some new thing. I came across a recipe that called for browned butter in pecan pie, which I had never done before, never even thought of doing.
Okay.
So I browned the butter as per the instructions, made it, and I could not believe how fantastic that pie was. All of a sudden, it had rich flavor and nuttiness and caramelized flavor, not just sweet. And that's how I make it from that moment on. I've
Oh,
made
my
my
gosh.
pies that way. I encourage anyone to
Do you
Google
do
that.
different pies?
Do I what?
You do different pies?
I do. I'll try to have, 2 or 3.
Mix it up?
Yeah.
Like with which?
Well, I think you should. I think a fruit pie is
Yeah.
nice,
Yep.
and pecan, and actually chocolate pecan is my favorite.
Chocolate pecan pie.
I know.
Yes. Oh,
How can you
wow.
that way you include chocolate
Yeah.
in the selection?
Happy Thanksgiving to you. Thank you so very much for doing this. And all of this we're going to share on our website as well.
Wonderful.
Thank
Thank you, George.
That's it for this edition of The Connector. Happy holidays to you. To stay in touch throughout the holidays, throughout every day, join us on our website, BoiseStatePublicRadio.org, and on the Boise State Public Radio app, and tell your friends about The Connector. And thanks for listening.
If you like podcasts like this, explore more from the Boise State Public Radio podcast family. There you'll find a mix of daily news, Idaho Voices, and in-depth series on a wide range of topics. I'm talking wild horses, political scandals, sustainable ranching, and militia groups in a post-January 6th world. Wherever you get your podcasts, just search Boise State Public Radio to find what Idaho's NPR station has in store for you.